This is a $700 tuna steak. I've seen prices range anywhere from $600 to $900 for a fish like this. But if you want to know why it costs so much, you're gonna have to listen up, because it's quite an interesting story. The bluefin tuna is a saltwater fish that lives in the northern Pacific Ocean, but they can be found in many different parts of the world, such as the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. The fish can grow up to 15 feet long and weigh around 660 pounds. However, these measurements are only found in the largest bluefin tuna, which are definitely the exception rather than the rule. On average, a bluefin tuna weighs between 400 and 600 pounds, which is still pretty big compared to other fish. In fact, it was often used as fertilizer or thrown back into the ocean after being caught, because people only wanted the larger fish. So instead of keeping the bluefin tuna, fishermen would target other fish such as cod and salmon, which were considered more valuable. However, in the early 1980s, the cod population started to collapse due to overfishing. This led to a ban on cod fishing in 1992, which meant that fishermen had to find another fish to catch. That's when the bluefin tuna started becoming popular. Suddenly, fishermen realized that they could make a lot of money by catching these fish, so they started targeting them more often. But there was a problem. The demand for bluefin tuna quickly increased, but there weren't enough fish to go around. In 2007, the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tuna set a catch limit of 22,000 tons for the entire Atlantic Ocean. However, estimates at the time suggested that 30,000 tons of bluefin tuna were being caught every year. This meant that the bluefin tuna population was being depleted much faster than it could recover. If you've ever wondered what the biggest threat to our planet is, it's overpopulation. We currently have over 8 billion people on this planet, which puts a huge strain on the environment. And as we continue to grow, it will become more and more difficult to feed everyone. Luckily, though, there are some ways that we can help alleviate this problem. In 2010, the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tuna raised the minimum catch size for bluefin tuna from 275 kilograms to 300 kilograms. They also introduced a new system for monitoring catches, which made it harder for fishermen to exceed the catch limit. These measures helped to stabilize the bluefin tuna population, and it estimated that there are now around 8 million bluefin tuna in the Atlantic Ocean. When the bluefin tuna was first introduced to the market, it was priced very reasonably. In fact, during the 1980s, you could buy a whole bluefin tuna for just $250. But as the fish became more popular, the price started to increase. Today, a single bluefin tuna can sell for up to $734,000, which makes it one of the most expensive foods in the world. So what makes the bluefin tuna so special? Well, for starters, it's a very versatile fish. It can be grilled, baked, or fried, and it pairs well with almost any side dish. Additionally, the bluefin tuna has a unique flavor that many people enjoy. Some have described it as being buttery and rich, while others have said that it tastes like a strong blue cheese with some pharmaceutical notes. Ultimately, the best way to describe the flavor of a bluefin tuna is to say that it's unlike anything else you've ever tasted before. One of the reasons why the bluefin tuna is so expensive is because it's a very rare fish. As I mentioned earlier, bluefin tuna can only be found in certain parts of the world, and they are also very difficult to catch. Because of this, the supply of bluefin tuna is always limited, which helps to keep the prices high. Another reason why the bluefin tuna is so expensive is because it's a very healthy fish. Bluefin tuna is a good source of protein, and it's also loaded with vitamins and minerals. It's also very low in fat, which makes it a great option for people who are trying to lose weight or improve their overall health. Due to its many health benefits, the bluefin tuna has become very popular among health-conscious consumers, which also contributes to its high price tag. You may be wondering why the sushi-grade bluefin tuna is so expensive. Well, it's because sushi-grade bluefin tuna is held to a higher standard than regular bluefin tuna. Sushi-grade bluefin tuna must meet certain criteria in terms of quality and freshness. And those who purchase sushi-grade bluefin tuna can be assured that they are getting one of the best possible products available. I should mention that the bluefin tuna is not the only fish that has become expensive due to overfishing. Many other fish are in the same boat, such as the Atlantic cod, which used to be very abundant but is now very rare. This is why cod is so expensive today. Now, you might be thinking that if people stop eating bluefin tuna, then the price will eventually go down. However, this is not likely to happen anytime soon. In fact, the bluefin tuna is expected to remain one of the most expensive foods in the world for years to come. This is because the demand for bluefin tuna is very high, and there is no indication that this will change anytime soon. Additionally, the supply of bluefin tuna is very limited, and it's unlikely that this will change in the near future. Although the bluefin tuna is very expensive, it's still worth the price for many people. For some people, the unique flavor of the bluefin tuna is worth the high price tag alone. Others love the challenge of trying new and exotic foods, and the bluefin tuna definitely fits the bill. For these people, the expense of the bluefin tuna is simply part of the allure. I should mention that the price of the bluefin tuna is not the same all over the world. In some places, the bluefin tuna is actually quite affordable. However, in other places, the bluefin tuna is extremely expensive. For example, in Japan, the bluefin tuna is often sold at auctions for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is because in Japanese culture, the bluefin tuna is considered a symbol of wealth and power. However, in some places, the bluefin tuna is actually quite affordable. In some countries, the bluefin tuna is caught in large quantities and the price is kept low because of the competition among sellers. This means that while the bluefin tuna may be extremely expensive in Japan, it can be found for a reasonable price in other parts of the world. It's important to remember that the price of the bluefin tuna is subject to change at any time. The price of the bluefin tuna is affected by a variety of factors, including the availability of the fish, the demand for the fish, and the cost of fishing for the fish. All of these factors can change from year to year, which means that the price of the bluefin tuna can fluctuate accordingly. For example, if there's a particularly good bluefin tuna fishing season, then the price of the fish is likely to go down. However, if there's a poor fishing season, then the price of the fish is likely to go up. The same thing happens with the demand for the fish. If there's a lot of demand for bluefin tuna, then the price will go up. But if there's a low demand, then the price will go down. The cost of fishing for bluefin tuna also plays a role in determining the price of the fish. If it's expensive to fish for bluefin tuna, then the price of the fish will go up. However, if it's cheap to fish for bluefin tuna, then the price of the fish will go down. In conclusion, the bluefin tuna is an expensive food item that's sure to remain expensive for years to come. The price of the bluefin tuna is determined by a variety of factors, including the availability of the fish, the demand for the fish, and the cost of fishing for the fish. All of these factors can change from year to year, which means that the price of the bluefin tuna can fluctuate accordingly. Alright, now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below. Do you think the bluefin tuna is worth the high price tag, or do you think it's just a fad that will eventually die down? Also, don't forget to stay tuned for more videos about expensive things. Thanks for watching.